Welcome to the first Public Information Center for the Schedule B Renowned Sewage Pumping Station Municipal Class Environmental Assessment. The Regional Municipality of Niagara is examining alternative solutions in order to upgrade the Renowned Sewage Pumping Station located at 7 Renown Road in the city of St. Catharines. As we take a moment today to reflect on the importance of the land on which we gather and work, it's important to reflect and understand the history of the land. Niagara Region is on treaty land. This land is steeped in rich history of First Nations, such as the Hattaway-Durrunk, Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The Regional Municipality of Niagara stands with all Indigenous peoples, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live. The Renowned Sewage Pumping Station has reached the end of its life cycle, and the region is now required to maintain the existing sewage pumping station capacity, enhance the functionality and operation of the sewage pumping system, and mitigate the risk of sewage overflows while providing efficient capital cost investment for this facility. The purpose of this EA study is important to upgrade the sewage pumping station. The Renowned Sewage Pumping Station is one of the region's largest pumping stations, and its operation is essential for the wastewater servicing that residents, businesses, and people in the area rely on every day. As part of the Municipal Class EA, engaging the public, stakeholders, and Indigenous peoples on the project is a critical component. This is the first Public Information Center and will include an introduction to the problem or opportunity statement, the identification of the proposed alternative solutions, and a detailed information on the evaluation of those solutions. Also included in this presentation is detail on how and when to stay in contact for the study. I'll now pass the presentation along to my colleague, Dean Whitaker, the technical subject matter expert for this study.
Thank you, Christine. Before we get into the technical alternatives of this Class EA, I want to start by explaining how a sanitary network works and how pumping stations function. Sanitary sewers that connect our houses, our businesses, our places of entertainment drain via gravity from high points to low points within a collection system. At the low points within a collection system, pumping stations take that sewage, pump it via pressure uphill via a force main directed to wastewater treatment plants. It is here where wastewater treatment plants process wastewater and clean it prior to a discharge to the environment.
Before we get into the details of the alternative solutions, the Class EA process is important to understand. An environmental assessment is a study used to predict, identify, measure, and reduce how a project might affect the natural, social, cultural, and economic environment. EAs provide municipalities like the Region of Niagara with an approach to comply with the Environmental Assessment Act for both capital projects and infrastructure maintenance activities. EA studies are required by the province of Ontario, and they provide the Region of Niagara with accountability in their planning process for future construction that can avoid the harm to any environmental features. There are 5 phases to a Class EA. This project follows the first 2 phases. Phase 1 identifies the problem or opportunity in the study area, and Phase 2 identifies alternative solutions to address the problem or opportunity by taking into account all the existing conditions. This slide describes the planning process and the status of where we are at in the study. The study went through an analysis of early strategies to the problem or opportunity statement, and I'll list them here. The first strategy was to maintain the existing capacity of the Renowned Sewage Pumping Station. The second was to enhance the functionality and operation of the station. The third is to mitigate the risk of sewage overflows. And the fourth was to provide efficient capital cost investment. Preliminary screening was conducted by the project team in order to identify a high-level strategy that would be carried forward into the evaluation of alternative solutions. The strategies included do nothing, upgrade the current sewage pumping station, or construct a new sewage pumping station. The alternative to construct a new sewage pumping station was selected and carried forward for further evaluation in phase 2 of the study process. This was done because alternative 2 was the most preferred option, as it reduced the level of impacts both on capital costs and significant impacts to the environment. As part of phase 2 of the study, the project team is now looking at alternative design options for a new pumping station, including the location of where the new sewage pumping station will go and the location of standby power supply. As part of this project, we are now on public consultation phase number 1. And in further opportunities, we will be coming back in the new year with public consultation number 2.
With regards to the alternative solutions that were explored, 3 locations were proposed for the construction of a new pumping station. The first location is within the existing property limits. The second location, known as location 2, is west of the existing property limits, while the third is located to the east of the existing property limits. When evaluating these locations for the proposed pumping station, location 2 was found to be an existing site in which the City of St. Catharines relies upon for existing operations, as well as containing sensitive features. For this reason, location 2 was not considered further when considering the pumping station design solutions. Locations 1 and 3 were found to be viable sites when measured against the evaluation criteria. Locations 1 and 3 also have the least impacts relative to the existing conditions and the current environment. For the alternative solutions, the general approach is to construct a new sewage pumping station complete with standby power. The potential solutions associated with this alternative is to locate the pumping system east of the existing property limits, complete with a standby generator housed within a weatherproof and soundproof outdoor enclosure. The new sewage pumping station can be constructed within the spatial allowances of the adjacent east site. The east site also provides access to the new sewage pumping station both during and after construction. In addition, this location also provides shorter and relatively straightforward connections from the existing underground infrastructure to the new sewage pumping station. For alternative 1, the general idea is to construct a new sewage pumping station complete with a below grade wet well and above grade access and control room. The pumping station will be complete with a soundproof and weatherproof standby generator. This alternative does not require the relocation of the existing force main within the existing proposed site. The technical features for this alternative include incoming sanitary flows being redirected to the new Renown sewage pumping station through the existing inlet maintenance hole. The new Renown pumping station will be connected to the existing force main, complete with a generator located south of the pumping station building. The pros for this alternative include all new proposed infrastructure will be located as far west as practically possible away from existing residences. The cons, however, are that construction may be impacted by the existing infrastructure due to its relatively close proximity. Because of this, additional effort and construction cost will be incurred. Moreover, the proposed pumping station building will be more visible from the road and does not permit the appropriate setbacks as per City of St. Catharines requirements. Similar to alternative 1, the general idea behind alternative 2 is to construct a new pumping station complete with a below-grade wet well, above-grade access and control room, complete with a soundproof and weatherproof standby generator. Again, this alternative does not require the relocation of the existing force main within the proposed eastern site. The technical features for this alternative include incoming sanitary flows will be redirected to the new Renown pumping station through a proposed maintenance hole and sewer extension. The new Renown pumping station will be connected to the existing force main, and the proposed outdoor generator will be located within the existing site. The pros for this alternative is that construction can be accommodated within the designated eastern site in combination with the existing. The cons for this proposed pumping station is that it is located closer to local residential buildings and that its construction may impact existing trees. Similar to alternatives 1 and 2. The general idea behind alternative 3 is to construct a new pumping station complete with below-grade wet well, above-grade access and control room, complete with a soundproof and weatherproof standby generator. This alternative requires the relocation of the existing force main within the proposed eastern site. The technical features of this alternative, similar to 1 and 2, include incoming sanitary flows being redirected to the new Renown pumping station through a sewer extension via an existing inlet maintenance hole. The new Renown sewage pumping station will be connected to the existing force main, and an outdoor enclosure will be located west of the new pumping station building. The pros of this alternative is that it represents an optimization of the location relative to the other designs. It is a reasonable distance away from existing residences as well as from the existing Renown pumping station, such that construction requirements in terms of duration and cost are minimized. In addition, impacts to the adjacent residences are also minimized such that the existing trees can be preserved. The cons is that it requires utilization of the entire site to proceed. We are proposing an artist rendering of the new sewage pumping station as well as the proposed outdoor generator. From the site, we are designing the pumping station to be architecturally pleasing to the eye and to blend into existing residences local to the area.
The next stage in the study process is evaluating the 3 alternative design solutions presented here today as part of this Digital Public Information Center. The criteria shown here include natural environment, social and cultural, technical features, and economic considerations that the project study team will be using to evaluate the 3 alternative design solutions. Details such as proximity to environmentally sensitive areas, cultural, social, and archaeological, land use compliance, understanding of traffic, noise, and dust impacts, as well as several other factors like constructability, impacts to existing utilities, and the economic sustainability and capital costs associated with the design alternatives presented will all be considered in the evaluation process and presented at a later stage during Public Information Center number 2. To get more involved in the study and to provide your comments, the contact information for the region's project manager and consultant team project manager are provided on this slide. Comments will be accepted until January 16th of 2023. Following this first digital public information center, we look forward to receiving your feedback and comments on the study and the alternatives and evaluation criteria presented here today. In 2024, the study is hoping to move forward with construction. Thank you for participating in this digital public information center today.